Hi guys, me again, Mate Douche. Okay, so I just wanted to discuss a few things. I'm not going to actually show you any action on this particular video. I'm still waiting for my heavy tanks to train up so that I can show you a war attack. But I thought I'd chuck in another video about just some discussions on some of the things that you can expect a little bit later on as you progress through your base and upgrade troops, upgrade tactics, upgrade various different things and things that you can expect to be able to utilize. So firstly, I wanted to talk about these wonders that I've got and why I'm using them. Versailles, let's look at the options here. You've got Angkor Wat. Now, Angkor Wat gives you resources once per day, but if you're already maxed on that particular resource, so if you've got I don't know, a limit of 16 food, 16 cider or whatever it is, and Angkor Wat decides to chuck out give you some cider that day, you won't be able to receive it because you're already full, so it won't add to what you've already got. So although it says when defending hills nearby defenders one day you may collect a bonus trade good, it's not as good as it sounds. Sometimes that bonus just doesn't even come into effect. Hills defenders nearby, I don't think the radius is that big actually of Angkor Wat. I can't remember, but it's not massive. And the problem is with having your wonders in a central location, you're taking up valuable space for defense. So that's one problem. I mean, it works for my war base, so I don't really think I can show you the war base properly because I don't want to give it out to the general public. But as you know, guys, I've got my Acropolis Central, and the Acropolis helps spawn the troops. So I need that one wonder in a central location. The rest of them kind of you know, they can be scattered. But let's look at the other options on Versailles. You've got Taj Mahal, hire a free mercenary once a day. That's not too bad. Increases loot stolen from attacks. Not too bad. It's just a bit meh. It's just a bit whatever. Temple of Tikal increases trade goods capacity. Yeah, okay, but you can do that anyway. And refund some of the resources stolen by opponents. Why do you want that? You can just go out and do it yourself. You can just go out and attack anyone and get as much resources as you want. So I just don't see the point in that. Versailles itself, the troop health of surrounding it's got a really, as you can see, the radius of it is really poor, but it slows 44%, which is great. Troop health plus 11. Yes, okay. So essentially what I did when I designed this base is I put it here, thinking that the guys attacking here, dropping their troops right here, which is probably where you would do if you've got, you know, defenders running onto you, possibly forest defenders coming in. You put it there. You're going to hit Versailles before you hit pretty much anything else, unless you take one of these two directions, but still you're going to be cut off slightly by the Arc of Versailles, and it's going to slow you down. But the main thing is it blocks the fort, and it will give the generals more health, and it will slow down the attack and the approach to the fort. That's why I did it. Either side of that are two factories. So when someone hits those factories, a heavy tank Mark III will spawn. That's why I put those there. So yeah, that's that really. Okay, so you've got as I'm talking about Acropolis, it's not really affecting too many buildings. It's affecting the Colosseum, although it doesn't glow, but it should do. It slightly increases the spawn rate. It's affecting this tank bunker here, tank depot. It's affecting this tank bunker, and it's affecting slightly the the fort as well, but that doesn't show. It just increases the time it takes for a general to actually pop out of there by about a second or two, so which is always very useful. But the main reason I put it here is it's twinned with the Colosseum, and the Colosseum is spewing out constantly new troops. But the Colosseum, as I've spoken to you about before, comes with the strength of the Gladiator. That's incredible. Great tactic to have. You can't have too many tactics. Blitzkrieg that you get from the Brandenburg Gate is fantastic. I've shown you a video of how it works, but Blitzkrieg, I think, let's just go and have a look. So your Blitzkrieg, radius of 10 squared, 10 tiles, which is big. 14-second duration. That's pretty much going to give you enough time to wipe out a town centre. So before you hit the town centre, before you break through the wall, to get to that area where you can start attacking the town centre, hit that Blitzkrieg on the town centre and the surrounding spawning buildings, and it works really effectively. So what I would do, and what I do is I hit that one to Blitzkrieg everything. Once I've got to the town centre and I'm attacking the town centre, I then use this one, which is the strength of the Gladiator. As you can see, 200% increase on damage done, 50% attack speed increase as well. So they're hitting 200 times harder, and 50% harder as well. Duration for 12 seconds, so that's pretty much the length of time that your Blitzkrieg runs for. So you're going to smash that town centre down within a very short period of time. So useful. I think those tactics work the best out of any of them. The other options, Forbidden City is great. I mean, but people will always find a way around Forbidden City. If you've got any questions about how you can get around the Forbidden City, just ask me, ask Noxy, Backlandia, any ARC, any of the co-leaders. I mean, we've got some guys here as well in our alliance which have been playing the game for a very, very long time, and they know all about it. They know how the tricks of how you get around Forbidden City. But if you do want to ask, just please go ahead and ask. Just have a quick look at my research that I've been doing here at the library. So the reasons why I have the strength in the attack that I have essentially is because of this lot here, the ones in blue, the books in blue and the books in red. Books in blue and books in red are all about buildings and defences and attacking. So increasing your rate of attack, increasing your rate of defending, increasing the capability of the defensive buildings, and that is essentially where it comes from, the strength. So you really need to kind of always be on the ball with what you've done with your research, get it up to date. So all of that, of 10% health, 10% attack, more defenders. I could go through all of this, but you've got it there in your games. But you can see exactly where I haven't finished yet. So catapults attack 10% faster. Still got to do that one. Ever since they added the 5th element to the library, I'm still playing catch up with those. 5 ball limit, but that's not important to my game at the minute because of the style of my base. That's currently what I'm researching. Garrison spawning 50% quicker, so that's going to help. Decoy, I don't really use that, so although I think there is a place for it, but I'm still trying to figure it out really. That's going to be the next one. Stable spawning 50% quicker as well. Caltrops limit, yeah. Ballista attack 10% faster again. I want that one as well. Heavy tank, I'm really not that bothered. I mean, I do base a lot of attacks on heavy tank, But the defender attack and the bunker health, they're pretty meh. They're pretty crap, really. Which is disappointing when you're talking Mark III tanks. Heavy weaponry reduces heavy tank Mark III troop space by 1. Man, they've got a 25 troop space or 24 troop space. Give us more than 1, for God's sake. And 10% machine gun health. I don't use machine guns, so I've kind of left them there. Air defense health. That's just the building itself. The health isn't really that important. The attack I want to get to, but it's not a priority. I've got other things to do. General training cost is going to be useful soon, but I've got priorities again. I've got to get my generals to a better level. Commando troop space, I'm not really using them, or bazookas, so I don't really see the point. And these aren't really great. The latest level of library stuff that they brought out is not fantastic, I'm afraid. So I think the last thing that I really wanted to talk about is tactics. And as you can see, although actually you can't because I'm currently retraining my tactics, but my tactics are 3 sabotage, they are a protect, and 2 betrayals. The protect is training, so is the sabotage, which I used on the last attack. So essentially I can forget about having to sabotage the town centre because I've got Blitzkrieg, which stops all troops spawning. So that gives me then an extra sabotage. So it's like having 4 sabotages in your back pocket going into a war battle, which is fantastic. And then I can just use them on all 3 of those on defensive buildings, so that my troops survive that bit longer. The protect, you've got to have. As soon as you get in, your troops will inevitably get into a dangerous position. They will inevitably get into a point where they are under heavy bombardment from mortars, from redoubts, from ballista towers, cannon towers, anti-tanks, whatever you call them. So you will be in that position. So you need to have, and you need to research those 2 particularly, those 2 tactics as thoroughly as you can. Betrayal, you've got to have it especially when you get to a higher level. When you guys are medieval, your gunpowder, possibly not so much. Enlightenment, you might start hitting some tank bunkers or some tank depots, because the next age up is industrial, and industrial are gonna have that kind of building. But until your gunpowder, until up to gunpowder age, you're really not gonna need any betrayals. And I don't know if they even offer it to you at that point, but yeah, you don't need it. So yeah, just wanted to give you an idea. So essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm going in, dropping a form of troops, deploying all of that lot. Then as soon as they start getting anywhere close to the town centre, I just hit the Blitzkrieg. Stops all the buildings spawning, stops the generals from spawning, and it gives you a layer of safety. On your approach, you may need to drop a sabotage. Once you are if into the walls, hit your strength of the gladiator. Make sure that is in place so that you can take down that town centre really quickly, and protect yourself and make sure you move through. But now I will show you all of that in a video which is meant to simulate a war attack. So until then, I'll speak to you later. Cheers, guys.